So in the last video we looked at a plan for our raffle ticket app, and we put in all the different stacks and views that we're going to do, and just as a planning tool. We're now going to take that plan and place it into a new app. So far you may have only done iOS apps, and that will cover iPad and iPhone. Today we're going to do a TV OS app, as this raffle ticket selector is going to go across the entirety of the surf club or wherever it may be. So choosing a new project, TV OS app. I call it raffle ticket, or raffle will do. Next, and give it a place. Create. So an Apple TV app is no different to a iPhone app or a Apple Watch app. Simulator on the right, code on the left. I'll hit resume to get it started. First thing I'm going to do is bring down my squiggly brackets. So in front of the squiggly bracket on line 10, enter, and again now on line 12, enter, and I'm good to go. Don't need hello world, we can remove that, and we're going to go back to our plan so we know what we're looking for in our code. Ignore these errors, there's a lot of issues here because it doesn't like having an empty body. So onto our plan, the first thing we have is a Z stack. It's going to enclose everything inside the app. Z stack, squiggly, enter straight away. It closes my Z stack off, and that is representative of the big yellow dotted box here that everything's going to be contained inside of. Now at the moment I don't have this image available to me, so I'm going to go get an image and throw it into my assets. So the assets are in the project navigator here, plus import, and in my downloads is my Surf Club image. Now I'm not really keen on keeping it with that very long and complicated file name, so select the image, hit enter, and I'll call it background or lowercase. So I can now go back to my content view, and inside my Z stack, as with my plan, inside the Z stack, inside the yellow box, I have image background. Resume. Nothing, a little bit for the simulator to catch up. So it's quite large at the moment. I'm just going to use the magnifying glass here to reduce the zoom. And as you can see, the image didn't quite stretch the edges. So I'm going to add a modifier, dot resizable, dot aspect ratio. I'm not going to use that number there. Use a content mode of dot fill. And I'm going to ignore safe areas. So it should hopefully push all the way to those edges, top, bottom, left and right. And I have my image ready to go. Moving on into my plan where I need a rounded rectangle. So I'm going to go, again, quite simply, rounded rectangle, open the round brackets, hit enter on my little helper, and my rounded rectangle will have a corner radius of 50 for the sake of it. Now, what this does is it creates a rounded rectangle that fills in the available space, which in this case, because it's inside a Z stack, is the entire screen. So I'm going to do a dot frame, width 750, height 300. Done. Back into my plan. I got my Z stack, inside of which I got an image then a round rectangle, then I have a V-stack. V-stack, squigglies, enter, text drawn in, and that's just for our prototype. Once we start getting functionality to our app, we'll end up modifying the text that goes into here dynamically, meaning automatically by the app doing it for us. Then text to 34. Now you can't see that at the moment for two reasons. One, the font size is really small, and the other is that the color is white. So I'm going to change the foreground color of my drawn in to black. Hit enter so it goes in the second line, and dot foreground color of it red for the second one. And I'm going to change the size of the font. Now I could do that on each individual text, but because I want them both being roughly the same size, dot font dot large title on the V stack, and I'll now apply it to both objects inside. And I'll throw a dot bold, actually on the whole thing. So, nope, not there. On a large title, how's that? There we go. Only other adjustment I want to make as we finish up, the rounded rectangle, it's white, it's very, very bold. Let's just soften it a little bit by doing 0.75 on the opacity. And there's a nice app ready to go. That's our prototype. From here, we're going to start looking at how we can make this selecting a person dynamically.